An enchanted monkey's paw had the power to grant 3 wishes to its owner. With each wish granted, one of its fingers would curl up, only to straighten again when a new owner took possession of it. A greedy old lady acquired the monkey's paw and wished for boundless wealth, hoping to enrich her and her husband's lives. A few days later, the paw fulfilled her wish in a twisted way. On Christmas Day, the old lady fell down the stairs and died instantly. In the aftermath, her husband received a substantial life insurance payout, allowing him to lead a comfortable life without worrying about money. However, the newfound wealth brought the husband no joy. No amount of money could ease the pain of losing his wife. Every second since her death was torturous for him. So, the day after his wife's funeral, the husband took out the magical monkey's paw and wished for his wife to come back to life. In the next moment, something miraculous happened. The lights in the house suddenly dimmed, and after a brief pause, they came back on. To the husband's astonishment, he heard his deceased wife calling out to him. The old man eagerly followed the sound, but strangely, he couldn't find his resurrected wife. From that day on, the old man would hear his wife's voice every night, but he could only hear her, never see her. This left him utterly perplexed, unable to understand why his wife, brought back to life by the monkey's paw, hadn't returned home. Weeks later, on a particular night, the old man was working in the family's funeral home when the coffin behind him slammed shut with a heavy thud. He opened the coffin to inspect it, but found nothing unusual. However, when he turned around, his dead wife suddenly appeared and knocked over a promotional sign nearby. The old man sat on the floor, frightened. As he picked up the fallen sign, he noticed an advertisement for a new coffin model the store had recently introduced. At that moment, the old man realized something and understood why his wife hadn't come home. She had already been placed in a coffin and buried in the cemetery, unable to crawl out on her own, even if she had been revived. With this realization, the old man immediately drove to the cemetery. Upon arrival, he dug up his wife's grave as quickly as possible. Sure enough, his deceased wife had indeed been resurrected and was frantically banging on the nailed-shut coffin lid. He pried the nails off the coffin and lifted the lid, only to find that his wife, brought back from the dead, had become quite strange. Not only was her body partially decayed, but she was also emitting a deep, growling sound.